Welcome to SoulWhat, a SoulTopia production. Every Tuesday, Michelle and Roger Welch take a deep dive into the intriguing and proactive world of metaphysics, a world beyond our human perception. They'll talk to empaths, readers, and other guests from all walks of life to find out what's hiding under the surface, uncover the mysteries of our modern world, and reveal the answers you need to live a happy, healthier life. Now, here's your hosts, Michelle and Roger Welch.
Hello and welcome to SoulWhat. How is everybody doing this week? How are you doing, Roger?
Oh, I'm all right. My head's still clogged.
Yeah?
Yeah. Still clogged up.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So, yeah, a lot of people in Texas have been having, I don't know if it's all of Texas. Texas is big, but having crazy allergy issues. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing very well. I'm feeling okay.
Yeah.
So that's good. So no complaints there.
I'm glad. Well, I saw a picture of you today. It was a good picture. I don't know what that was, though. I didn't really.
Oh yeah, I was out on a video shoot today for a client. So,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today's voting. So I went and voted, and I was disappointed to see that I was the only person there.
Really?
Mm-hmm. A lady walked out, and then a guy was walking in as I was leaving. So I was shocked.
I went as well. Yeah, I went to. There's a lot of polling locations near me, but the one nearest me was an elementary school about half a block away. So it was very, very easy to get down there. And I was expecting a wait, and there were people there, but there was no wait. So.
And used to in these like midterm when it's not president, I don't know. It didn't seem like people would vote as much, but now I think people are voting more because they understand that.
I know TikTok has covered up with it.
Yeah,
today
well,
from all over the country. Yeah, people are talking about it, and
well, it was all very, very fair where I went. I mean, they couldn't say anything about those voting polls. They were they even let you pick your. The thing that you stick into the machine, they let you pick which one. Like they were cut, and I had never had that happen before.
Yeah, I think that was relatively new as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the stylus they gave me, the little pencil stylus, wasn't working, and I was trying to sign my name, and they go, "Yeah, it's hard." I was like, "No, it's not working at all. There's no little rubber thing on the end of it. Y'all need to give me another one." I was like, troublemaker already.
and cause a problem.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah. But anyway, I felt good about it. I had a doctor's appointment. I went right after that. Just did it. Went straight there, looked it up. It's so easy to look up, and I guess the polls are closed now. And most, at least in Texas, they're closed.
Yeah, 7 o'clock is it's just after 7.
I think I saw
probably still open
Philadelphia,
in California.
Pennsylvania. They're going to stay open till 11.
Is that legal?
I don't know. It was somebody in Florida talking about it. It's like by 11 we're already done and counted everybody.
I don't think unless you have a.
I've heard of people doing state. I assume it's state by state. They can make whatever law they want to make. I've heard them doing that if there were long lines or something like that.
So if there's a reason, not to just
not just to be open.
Yeah, to decide we're going to stay open longer because I don't think you'd have to have a reason to make an exception. I would think. Well, tonight we're going to talk about a really good book, you guys. It's an awesome book. It's called Spirits Unveiled, and it's by this wonderful person named Michelle Welch.
There it is right there.
And so what I thought, when we were thinking about what to do, I thought about the fact that we have so many authors on, right?
Yep.
And I've been on so many other shows and podcasts lately and have a whole bunch coming up in the next, like even tomorrow, I think, have something, and I added one Friday, some big radio show. I don't know, Matt, I should have found out which it was. I think you'll have heard of it when I tell you.
This coming Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so supposedly a real big one that was like, snag it, like take it now or you won't get it.
Very curious on what that might be.
Yeah, I'll find out. But because of all that, and I thought I'm working hard to promote my book, but let's promote it a little bit more on our own show. And here's the reason why. Spirits Unveiled covers a lot of things, and people really like to talk about animals. And chapter 5 is about animal spirits, spirit beings, but it also covers your spirit animal in a sense. So what we're going to do tonight is talk about what issues or things you might have going on in your life. And what I do in the book is I list a lot of those. Like one of them might be focus. So say you came up with the idea of I want to look up concentration. Well, you would find a synonym for that would be focus, right? So I have a whole bunch of different categories of things that you might want to work on in your life. And if you don't find the exact word that you're looking for, just try to think of a synonym for that, and you'll find something probably that should be a pretty good fit. And what I recommend in the book is to pick three things you want to work on. And then out beside each one, like say it said focus, there will be 11 animals. Or now when I say animals, I'm talking the insect world, I'm talking birds, insects, sea life, all of it. There's anything you could kind of put under animals. Okay, so not just mammals. So there'd be insects, reptilians, all kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
So we're not going to have time to really do probably 3 categories. It gets a little complicated when you're doing that since there's 11 choices of animals out beside. But we're going to be doing 2. So if you would try to think of 2 things right now that you kind of want to work on in your life. I wrote down focus for me and healing, and I believe they are actually in the book, those categories. But you can think of 2, and then we will find them, the issues in the book, and see what animals go with it. Now, here's the thing. I don't, like most books, they'll tell you octopus, and then they'll tell you out beside it how an octopus will help you as an animal totem, and that's how most of the cards we have in the books that we're going to use do it too. This is a really good book, Pocket Guide to Spirit Animals by Stephen Farmer. There's a bunch of oracle decks. Aren't there?
Yeah,
it's hard to choose animal oracle decks because
too many out there.
There's so many out there. So instead of doing that, I say the issue first, and then you get to look at the animals, or in the broad category of animals. Okay.
Do you feel like most people do it that first way that you were talking about? They think of the animal that maybe it's the animal they like, or
Yes.
whatever they think is, I don't know, whatever they think is cute, and then they say, I want this to be my which I guess is one way to go about it, right? But like not necessarily dealing with whatever it is you need to deal with.
Exactly. So thank you for saying that, because it's exactly what happens. So a lot of times you're told, the way you'll know your animal totem or your spirit animal. And there are some differences between those, but we're not going to get into a class on it tonight. But they'll tell you which way did you go when you go in the zoo? What would you go see?
Mm-hmm.
The giraffes, or would you go to the polar bears, or would you go to the snakes? And then also, what did you dream about all growing up? And that might give you an indication of the animal totem that's working with you. And I love it that you said that, because sometimes and I even wrote in the book, have an open mind, because you don't always have to have the cool ones. It's kind of interesting. A lot of people they want the panther to be one of their totems,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
And it might not be panther that for these specific issues that need to help you. Now, this doesn't mean that it's your forever spirit animal that guides you, but it can guide you through the specific thing that you're going through at the time. So that's why. So you still might have cool ones, but always be open to the other ones. I have as an animal totem a mosquito. I've told you that, right?
I think all Texans have the animal,
Yes.
have the mosquito as their.
But do they admit it? They're like, no, mine's the panther, and the lion and the eagle,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and so mine was mosquito. And I was just, why? I mean, I would dream about mosquitoes. There were these big, like alien crane, like mosquito things, and I did. All my recurring dreams were that, and stuffing my brother all cut up into a my
he
clothes
appreciated
hamper.
that.
Like that was my those are the dreams.
very
like
pleasant. These
yeah,
are-
I mean it's like after staring over his bed
You know
like
he
a freak.
loved that.
Yeah, well so I mean that was a recurring dream though. Is like I cut him up and stuffed him. I'm not sure if I cut him up. I just found him stuffed into the
You
clothes
probably
hamper.
You just
did.
did something about
Yeah,
it.
it was probably me.
I'm gonna have to start sleeping in one of the other rooms.
Yeah, you might want to. And so, but then it was these mosquitoes. So I finally looked at mosquito at one point, and it's like those things.
Bloodsucker.
Yeah, those
Is that
things
what
that
it said?
those things
Bloodsucker?
that no, it said those things that bug you. the things that you're
Bloodsuckers that
intolerant
bug you.
about that you need to have more tolerance about. So
Isn't that the truth?
yeah, so for me, for sure. So mosquito has always been one, but I always have found it interesting, not to make fun of people, but they always want the cool ones. I knew at one
of
point.
course.
Yeah, I knew at one point these. Somebody told me a story. This was probably about 10 years ago. That it was a group of friends, and one friend had ladybug, and ladybug's good luck, right? It's just good fortune, happiness. It's very easy one to remember. There's not really anything negative about it, and they got in an argument. She was like, well, that's my totem. You know, I'm going to buy that neck bracelet that has the ladybug. And the other lady was like, you're just copying me because I like the ladybug. And I thought, oh my God, they're arguing over
Was that here?
ladybug.
Yeah.
It
That
was
was here,
in
probably.
people we know. And so I thought, well, I'm going to tell them my story. Well, mine's the mosquito. Y'all
No one's
should be
wanting to copy
jealous.
yours, yeah.
Exactly.
You're like,
And I
where's
was
the
like,
mosquito bracelet?
a mosquito.
Because we don't want that one.
And then one time I went up to, I love taking baths, but the house we're in right now is like, I don't have like a master bathtub, but that's my favorite thing to do. Well, Margaret Ann Limbo, who has books on crystals, and I'm calling out her name. Now that we're friends on Facebook, I can say her name. She can watch this
okay.
movie. And so we were at INATS, and you pulled a card. You walked up to her, and she had a new thing on crystals and the animal totems. And she said, well, yours is the fly. And I said,
Still a
no, it's the
nuisance.
mosquito. And she
Close.
said, no, it's the fly. And she said, because you need to take a bath. And I was like, well, I love to take baths. At the time, I took probably like 4 a day because I had this great bathtub. And then she was like, or maybe that's when we moved or something. And she goes, so you need, and I was like, are you really telling me I need to take a bath? And she goes, well, Fly is telling you that you need to take a bath.
Not me.
I was like,
But Mr. Fly
okay,
is,
Margaret Ann Limbo. But she's a wonderful person and she sells great books. But there you go, Fly and mosquito. So but the difference in my book is that basically I do say that, Matt. I say animals you have not been drawn to before, maybe the very ones you need in order to deal with the issue in your life. Perhaps pick the one you know the least about and get to know them. The spirits of all animals are fascinating. And I also put above that, try to leave your biases behind. Remember that no animal is really better energetically than another to help you with certain issues. So, Roger, who do you think your animal? And again, the book is not about finding your spirit guide animal. It's just for the specific instances that we're working on. We'll get to that in a second.
Also, folks, like we mentioned earlier, think of those couple of things that you want to work on and comment them on the SoulWhat Facebook page, which seems to be working tonight. It appears to be stable tonight. So leave that comment there, and if you want some answers on what animals you might want to be thinking about, leave those comments, and then we can go through the exercise altogether.
And if you have the book, we're looking at starts at page 83.
And I know you all have the book,
Yes,
right?
better.
because actually I see who's watching. I know you all have it. So, but starts on page 83 is the practice we're talking about. But you'll notice it actually is a huge list. It's 5 pages. I counted them just to make sure. 5 pages of different things you can be working on
Right.
with the animals out to the side.
Yeah, and I wrote that when I had COVID, and I was in Denver. Remember working on those lists?
And if you don't know which
So
ones
if
you need
the
to work
lists
on,
are
just let
messed
me know
up,
and I'll
then
tell
we
you
know
which
it.
ones y'all need to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can answer that for you.
You need
too.
a bath. Flies your
Bath.
totem.
You need a bath.
You need a
Wait, is
bath.
bath
You
on here?
stink.
Smelliness.
Intolerance, the mosquito, and you stink, the bat, the fly.
Guess that could be under survival.
So, Roger, you want to start with you. So, what you're going to put down, you guys, is if you can think of two, tell me, Matt, if this is what you said to them. If you can think of like 2 things in your life that you're kind of wanting to work on. And then just put it as a word. And then if you put it in the comments, we can look at it and I'll find a word that's like a synonym if we don't have that exact word. Then what you want to do is you want to see if some of the animals match. For instance, so there's 11 animals on each thing. So I have focus, and there's going to be 11 animals out to the side of that. And then I have healing. There'll be 11 animals out to the side of that. If there's 1 or 2 animals that correspond, well, clearly those are the animals I'm going to go and look up. So typically in a book, almost every book you get or card deck, it's going to tell you then about everything about that animal. I did it the reverse way. I said, this is what it's going to help you with. And then we can look at card decks. We can look at animals. You can go, there's a great site, Spirit. I think it's Spirit_animals. That's a really great site that you can use. But I'd like you first to think about, what you think that animal might be good for and why it's coming up for you, instead of just running to other books to tell you everything about it. And I will talk to you and explain what I did the other day, and I think it may happen again today. I was doing it the exercise for myself, and none of the 11, so there'd be 22 animals, none of them overlapped. So what I did is I picked one. I picked Ladybug because, we fight over being a ladybug, having a ladybug. I thought about that, and so I picked Ladybug, and I picked Eagle, and then I did a hybrid of those. So if y'all think about, like, I don't know, my kids had an assignment one time in school, and they had to do like a mythology creature, and they had to come up with one, but they had to take elements from different mythological creatures and do a hybrid creature.
So you're going to have a red and black mosquito.
Well, it was an eagle, so it would be a red and black eagle. But you could if you don't want to draw, if you're not good at drawing, you could do a collage and find those pictures if you like that kind of crafty stuff. I don't, so I would write about it instead. And I'd write, well, these are the attributes of the ladybug, and these are the attributes of the eagle, and how would these come together as a hybrid animal to help me?
Where's Sasquatch?
Is Sasquatch on there? I think he might be. I can't remember if he's on here or not.
Yeah, it better be.
Yeah.
If not, we need a reprint.
Okay. Well, yeah, we need a reprint anyway, right? Okay, so Roger, do you want to start?
Where's the one for my ears ringing and making my ears stop ringing?
Well,
how about that?
Why don't you look and see what you think?
Here you go. I got some.
Okay.
I was just playing.
No, well, that would be healing, probably.
Vibration.
Vibration?
How about that?
Okay, so for Roger, we're going to do vibration, and what else? You need to choose 2, at least. I would recommend 3 usually. So
I wrote down decisions, forgiveness, family.
Okay, so I found forgiveness.
I'm
on forgiveness. It's on page 85. So if you'll turn to vibration, Roger.
Yep.
And start reading the animals.
Vibration is bat, cricket, dolphin, earthworm, elephant, hummingbird, loon, mole, Sasquatch, woodpecker, whale.
Okay, so that is an example of Roger has 11 that he just named that don't match any of the 11 under forgiveness, because those are angelfish, canary. So which one are you going to choose from your list? Sasquatch?
Of course.
Okay, so now I need you to choose one from this list. Okay, you ready? Because none of them overlap.
Is this the forgiveness one?
Yeah, I'll read it to you. Angelfish, canary, dog, firefly, jellyfish, koi, is that koi, the koi fish? Ladybug, manatee, pelican, penguin, robin. So choose one.
Yeah, koi fish.
Is that what you're choosing?
Sure.
Okay, so you've got Sasquatch and koi fish. Okay.
Yeah, they go together.
Yeah, they goes together really.
Did you want it to go together?
No, it is what it is.
Wait, though, did you know what a koi fish originally was?
A baby Sasquatch?
Yeah, it was.
Bullshit. It was not.
You see especially the Japanese tattoos where it's the 2 koi fish swimming together, like in the yin yang thing.
Yeah.
It's because it was originally dragons turned to koi fish.
Real? Are you? that sounds reasonable. Are you? He's smiling now. Is anybody?
I tell the truth. She thinks I'm lying.
Yeah. No, I've not heard that, but that does sound like something
That
that
one
could be true.
makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing you would do is, since you chose for vibration and forgiveness, you chose Sasquatch, right? Mm-hmm. And you chose the koi fish. You could either draw it like, a hybrid, or you can, and eventually what you're going to want to do is look up both of those
In the
animals. Now, I don't know if we'll find koi in the ones that I brought or Sasquatch, but even before you get to that, I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you, not even thinking about the category that it was in, what do you think you might, how might Sasquatch just like help you in general?
Peace and quiet.
Are you serious?
Yeah, think about it.
Okay.
You don't see Sasquatch in the freaking city.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen Sasquatch in the middle of downtown Dallas?
Not enough, but
I'm not sure there's ever been a sighting there. It's usually in the woods by himself, minding his own
That's
business.
because he doesn't exist.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding.
calm down now.
I'm kidding. I'll make 'em, I'm in a room full of, these two. I won't make it out of here, Sasquatch. For the koi fish, I know you like them. You guys had them when you were younger or something?
Yep.
Okay, so for that's under forgiveness. But like in general, what do you think about? With
Peaceful. Because you ever watch them swim?
Okay, so
Peace.
you've just said peace twice.
Yeah, I was gonna say like those both kind of exude that to me as well. Like when I think of koi fish, I think of just like almost meditative, right? You watch them, they're swimming, they're slow, they're not wild or anything like that. It's peaceful. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's me who wants to just reach out and grab them out of that thing. Didn't I?
Unless you're feeding them and then they're crazy.
No, but I do find them very peaceful. I'm kidding. So you said, for you said peace and quiet for Sasquatch, and you said peaceful.
Yeah.
So to me, before you even look anything up, before you run to Google it or anything, try to do what we just did, and you see how Roger came up with peaceful. He wants peace right now in whatever area of life that he's having issues with vibration. And when you chose vibration, what were you thinking? Because you had another word and you went to vibration, didn't you?
Yeah, well, because I was thinking about it, because you're thinking about
Your
things you want to
ears?
work on and things like, my ears have been driving me nuts. And today they've been bad just because my sinuses and stuff had like kind of gone back into my head and just kind of started driving me nuts today.
So vibration was the word you decided to choose. And then for forgiveness, you had said kind of family. I want to throw one more thing in here just to show y'all. So let's look at family. And let's see if any of that. Now, this is where when you do 3, it can get a little confusing because you're comparing a list of 33 animals, like 11 on each one, right?
Right.
But if we went to family, Roger, and if you would stay on what page are
I'm
you
on family. Family's on page 85.
Okay, I'm going to look at forgiveness here first, and you call out family.
And I'd already looked this up because originally that was one of one of the words before I went to the other. But family is bear, beaver, gorilla, kangaroo, ladybug, mockingbird, monkey, otter, pig, whale, wolf.
So compared to forgiveness, it's ladybug.
Ladybug.
I didn't compare it to, let me compare it now to, what we say, vibration. What do you want? Look at vibration.
And then on vibration, which is on page 88, and it's bat, cricket, dolphin, earthworm, elephant, hummingbird, loon, mole, Sasquatch, woodpecker, whale.
So Sasquatch again.
No.
No.
That's the only time Sasquatch has been listed.
Really?
It was compared to family.
I thought no.
Compared to which one?
What are you reading?
Vibration and what?
What were you reading? I'm sorry.
Vibration.
Okay, so, and I was I'm trying to look at the new one, family. So,
that's the one. Family?
Yeah,
That's the one I just read.
I know I'm trying
Bear,
to compare
beaver,
them.
gorilla, kangaroo, ladybug, mockingbird, monkey, otter, pig, whale, wolf.
Okay, are you with me? I'm trying to find out which ones overlap. So,
And the other one that we
Sounds like
looked at-
whale. I think I heard that one in there
and
twice.
ladybug maybe?
Yeah.
So
whale overlaps for family and with
Vibration. And ladybug overlaps for.
And ladybug overlaps the other one.
Those are the two that I would add if you had a third category like that you wanted to do. So it's when we're not on podcast, but you're sitting down and you're figuring it out with your paper, you can literally write down when you get to one that overlaps. Does that make sense? Yep. Okay, so you can.
So really,
I wouldn't recommend more than 3 issues at a time, but in the book I said 3 because there's a chance then out of the 3 you're going to get some overlap. Now, if you get 3 subjects and those animals overlap on each one, then the subjects typically mean they're kind of close. The animals. It may be I want to be grounded. So you're going to get, I want to be grounded, and then I want to be able to concentrate, and then something else. Then you're going to get animals probably that tend to have the attributes that would help with those things if all 3 of your subjects kind of are the same. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So what you could do with that, Roger, is you could, we could keep going. So what does ladybug mean to you?
Would you think maybe kind of a graceful thing, something graceful?
Okay.
Because if you think about how they fly.
And there's no right or wrong because it's for you.
And they just kind of walk around.
Okay. And so what about whale?
Well, if you really think about it, because that's one of the things is the sounds coming from a whale. People consider that to be graceful in how they move through the water.
Yeah. I can see that.
So we've got, peace and quiet. You want peaceful and you want grace and gracefulness in your life right now. So these Sasquatch, the koi fish, ladybug, and whale could help with that. What I was trying to do when I went into the family was to see if any of those overlapped with the ones from vibration and forgiveness. And I'm not sure if they did or not. I thought I heard an overlap of Sasquatch, but maybe you were reading the wrong one. But y'all get the idea. You're trying to find out an overlap, and if there's not an overlap, then you choose. And you choose a couple, and you make a hybrid. Then you sit and journal or think to yourself, if you don't like to journal, well, what do I think about Sasquatch and a koi fish? And Roger was quick to say what he thought about it. And to him, that's peacefulness. And then ladybug and whale, he thought was gracefulness.
Sasquatch be kind of graceful too. You ever see him leap over a fence?
Oh yeah, and they're quiet.
10-foot strides, jump right across the street.
And I think that has a lot to do with the multidimensional aspect of them. I mean, I think they just know how to be quieter or whatever. So what you can do then is you could make a collage of if you like doing those sorts of things, you can draw. You can just write down what I wrote down for him, the Sasquatch, and then out to the side, peace and quiet. And then you could even write your own meditation or something to those animals.
How about a tattoo of Sasquatch feeding koi fish?
You could do that.
We could do that, Matt. Let's go do that.
I like that.
You could do
I bet that could be really cool looking.
Think about the colors you could put in there.
Yeah.
You get all the colors in there.
He's leaning down and feeding them or something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
You could. So, but now let me ask you this. So once you had it, like you have started like to draw it or whatever, I know Roger likes to draw and sketch and paint and stuff. So how could you put that into use, do you think, to help with your issues? Those issues that you mentioned. Seriously.
How you could do that?
Yeah. So you cared about your ears.
You could use it with
and your.
You could use it with your meditations.
Okay, but
how about meditating with it?
Would you do that?
Could, yeah.
Okay. Because right now, your ears are bothering you. You've got some issues going on with some family forgiveness stuff, right? And clearly you want some peacefulness and gracefulness. So how could those animals help you bring in peacefulness and gracefulness in your life?
Go out
like
meditation.
Sasquatch.
Stomp them out. Oh, not like that?
No, if that works.
I think it works.
Okay. So.
Sasquatch them out.
Yeah.
Squash them out.
Yep.
Squash them out.
Okay. So that's it? That's what you're going to do with my book?
I guess no. No, I'm messing with you.
Okay.
But if you think about it, like I said, with the koi fish, though, is the fact that with koi fish, they are graceful, but it's how they swim around a situation. So if you really think about a koi fish, it's working your way around to a situation instead of just barreling through it. Same thing for Sasquatch. Sasquatch doesn't just barrel through somebody's campground. He actually works his way around, and he's very non-confrontational overall. Yeah, there's some issues every now and then, but not overall. He actually tries to stay out of the issues. Same thing for koi fish. They don't swim. They
And do you
gracefully
think
go
that's,
around it and work their way around everything.
And if you want to take these, Roger, I just found Ladybug on here. They're in alphabetical order, these cards. They're from Noah's Ark. It's a very good tarot deck. I don't have the book because I'm probably at home, but they're in alphabetical order. And you can then look up, but I like how he came up with, I think it was pretty cool, 2 words that are exactly the same. Like peacefulness was important to him, and then gracefulness was important to him. So for you, the animals are going to help you stay peaceful while your ears are bothering you and while you've got issues going on with family or whatever that is for you, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, and then you can, after you've done your own work, that's when you want to go.
Close.
That's when you want to go and look up. I don't think Sasquatch is in this one, but that's when you want to go look up the animals. Don't just run to the books right away. Is what I would recommend. And that's why I didn't, Matt, when you were asking, do I just have the animal and then what it does, or is that how most books do it? Most books totally do it the opposite way. I've never seen a book that does it this way, where you look at the issue and then there's animals listed for it. And I like it being backwards like that because it'll not force you, but encourage you to think about the issues you're trying to do, and then see if you get overlap in the animals. And there may be animals you would never choose, like the puffer. What is that? Not the puffer fish. It's in here too. But what's the little guy? The
Puffer
little
fish?
no
Piranha.
No. What's that movie
Piranha.
they came out with?
Piranha.
Which one?
not
Piranha Double D.
Puffin. Is it Puffin?
Puffin.
Oh,
that
like
looks
the little,
a,
the little
yeah.
bird.
Puffin.
Puffin.
Yeah,
Looks like a,
that's in here too, and it's stuff that I didn't even necessarily know.
Yeah.
But those are ones that
ones with
just
blue
came
feet?
in my mind that I was going to write for, and I did
Puffin.
do a little research
like
into.
a-
What does it say
Yeah, there they are.
for Puffin?
Puffin on here says childlike wonder, trust, and freedom.
Cool. Well, what did you found Ladybug and Whale?
Yeah, I got Whale because that was the other one that was that from those two. So Ladybug on here says fortune, gratification, and wishes. That's that card. And on this card, it's
good fortune.
well. Okay, funny. It says judgment on it. Rising up, clarity, awakening, mercy.
Mercy. It's interesting.
Mercy.
That's it. Okay, so you'll kind of get how to play along now. And my biggest thing I would encourage you on is what Matt said at the beginning or we talked about at the beginning is you don't need to go looking for, when you get the list, if you laugh kind of at one of them, or you're like, oh, I don't know what that is, or whatever, you don't always have to go to the one that you thought was your favorite when you were little, or all that kind. It's a little bit different in the sense that it's not your animal totem for your whole. And people now are kind of sensitive to those words. I know I'm supposed to call it one thing or the other, but animal totems actually, this is in the book. Typically, animal totems are used to describe a group or a team or a tribe. So if you think about it, in my high school, we were the Longview Lobos. Mm-hmm. So that lobo, that wolf, was our totem, right? So tribes would have that. They would have, so people kind of misuse the word totem because that's typically for a group or a team. Mm-hmm. And remember how hard I had to find that citation? I was like, everybody just knows that. And I was like, it took me forever to find that citation to say, but that's what it's usually for. My kids went to, their school was the Lions. And so it's for that whole school. It's not, but they can be for an individual too.
Right.
Yeah.
But so then when you're working with an issue, it's just like in the book we have ascended masters. An angel may come in or or an ascended master and be with you your whole life, but they also may come in just for a very short time. Like if you are an artist, an ascended master might come in to help you with that, and you might have a certain kind of angel that helps you with that if you believe in angels. Okay, so this is just connecting with animals to help you as opposed to different other types of beings. The book also talks about how they can be your animal companions. So if you, and we've talked about this before on the show, about in the book, about our loved ones and when they pass, how we can get in touch with them. And that was a whole nother show. I'm doing that at the Plano Holistic Wellness Festival.
November 20th.
November 20th, the speech then will be how you can be your own medium and how you can get in touch with your loved ones without using a medium. That's the exercise that's in the book that we're going over. So, yeah. So, is there anybody? Did anybody turn in any that
they did? Yeah, okay. I've got a couple here. Before we go on to that, I will just I don't know how to ask this other than just to ask it. Are they always good? Are the animals that are helping you always like trying to help you, or are there some that are like, I better stay away from that one right now?
So most people say they're always good, but my book will say everything has a flip side. I mean, every animal has a free will. I think they're probably, if they're on here, they're trying to help you. But like any being that has free will, it may decide it doesn't like you, or you may not get along with that being. So from my point of view, people would probably disagree with this, but I think animals just as much have a right to have free will. And wolf as a category is like, it's a category. So you don't say the wolf, you say wolf, animal totem. But then when you get to a specific wolf, you'll say the name of the wolf or this wolf. And I'd say as a category, there's some, just like there are ascended masters that you might want to be a little more careful when you mess with them. Like Kali or some of the ascended masters that people just like, oh yeah, I work with whomever. Well, they can be dangerous. I mean, even Archangel Michael can smite whole cities if he got mad. So the answer to your question is, I think typically when you choose them, they're going to be good to work with, but if you feel uncomfortable with it, choose another one.
Okay.
But for my answer is everything has free will, so it could be in a bad mood too. And I do emphasize in the book that I think it's interesting that we think we are superior to animals, because I think animals teach us a lot too. They help us. We're not always the ones helping them. They're helping us. They're saving us sometimes for some things. But could they lead you down a bad path? I haven't really ever thought about it that way, but I would say from this flip side that I put in the book, there are times that there might be some animals that you don't want to mess with them or call them in unless it's something really serious, just like certain guides. You wouldn't call in certain guides or mess with certain guides unless you really had a serious task and you knew how to control that situation, right? So that's a good question.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just read these off, Roger.
Okay.
I assume we're looking at the same list here, but I've got Lacey here who says patience and self-discipline.
Okay.
So
I'll look. You can look up patience, Roger.
Patience.
And don't go yet. And I'm going to do something for self-discipline. Hold on. Find another word for that. And you could be looking too with that.
Is there a discipline?
It's not a discipline. I don't know. Maybe temperance.
Yeah.
that seems.
I'll use temperance.
That
Okay,
seems like
so
that
if
would
you'll
work.
read patience, I'll read temperance.
All right. So patience, alligator, badger, camel. Camel's a match. Chameleon, chicken, hyena, Komodo dragon, penguin, rhinoceros, seahorse, and tiger.
So the match I heard was camel.
Yep, camel's a match.
Okay, so this is how I'd play it, Lacey. I would say I have patience, and I had you under temperance because just for time's sake, there might be a better one, but temperance seemed pretty good for
think that-
self-discipline. Yeah. And so the one that out of those 22 list, 11 on each one. The one that duplicated was camel. So then if Roger wants to look up camel for me, or I can see if I can, but first, while he's looking, you would think, what does camel mean to you? Okay, and you'll be like, I might be like, I don't want it to be a camel. You know, they've got flies all over them. We're talking about flies all night. But
They
flies,
spit on you.
don't
They'll
read
spit
it,
on
but
you.
don't read it yet. So you would think about it, Lacey, you know, why
Spit
do
on
I
it.
think I might get camel? For patience and self-discipline. Why?
Because
And
she
what
needs
would
to
it-
discipline herself not to spit on somebody.
Okay.
You need to learn that
That'd be a good
patience,
reason.
not to spit on
I
somebody.
thought it was llamas that spit. No, they just bite.
Camels too.
Camels
both
too.
do?
But yeah, I think llamas will as well.
Yeah, they're mean. So
They seem
once-
similar.
And once you think about your own, then you can go to the books, Google, like I said, Spirit. I think it's spirit_animals.com. But what did you get for camel?
All right, on here is camel is quest for wisdom, abundant harvest, and conserving energy.
So that conserving energy could be part of it. And just know that I didn't look up a lot of these cards or other people's meanings when I did the animals. I went by, I do think I went some by knowledge of the animals I worked with before, and maybe some from Stephen Farmer's. But this little pocketbook, if you'll tell them the name of it, that pocketbook that Roger
This
has.
is Pocket Guide to Spirit Animals by Dr. Stephen Farmer. I think
That's
this
a
is the
really
other book
good
y'all were
book.
asking about just a second ago. This
Yeah,
is
I
the
would always have
other
that.
one.
I
This is a
carried
good
that in
little
my
book.
purse when
Yeah.
we got to the park. And
There's
I
this
used it.
size and there's a full size too. Camel in here. You want me to read the whole thing or just what part?
Just whatever you want to read.
More than ever, it's time to trust your own intuition and for guidance, paying close attention to your senses and what they're telling you. You've had a lot more energy and durability for the task ahead than you think you do. The road ahead may be difficult, and you won't have a lot of support. Yet you must take it with complete trust that you have everything you need within you to succeed.
So what jumped out at me on that, Lacey, is the road ahead may be difficult, because that to me would tie with patience and self-discipline or temperance. So that jumped out at to me for the camel, so how the camel could help you. So, but y'all kind of getting the hang of it. And what I like about this is it kind of pulls you away from, I mean, I can't tell you how many people come in and they're like, I was Cleopatra in a past life, somebody told me, and I will roll my eyes because not everybody was Cleopatra in a past life. And my animal totem is, and it's like the panther, or I don't know why I keep saying panther. What other one do people like? I mean, they just like
Wolf.
Eagle.
eagle,
Yeah.
wolf, you know.
Bear.
And those are like those four, the eagle, wolf, bear. Some are the ones from the original medicine wheel from the Native Americans. So those could be ones, but it's almost comical that everybody like says the same ones when there's so many different animals that can help us.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a cultural bias there of like either animals that you're very familiar with or animals that you're familiar with from pop culture or reading or something like that. Because when camel came up, I was like, I don't even know when the last time I thought about a camel was.
Right?
And that's, if you had asked me name 100 animals, it would not have been in there.
Me either.
But not that they're weird or anything like
Yeah.
that. They're just, I just don't ever see
You
a
don't think
camel.
about it.
Or
But
I
then
don't
other
think
people,
about
they
it.
see them all the time.
Yeah, but like when it also came up, those ideas. I don't want to put ideas in Lacey's head, but like when I think of them, I'm like they are very hardy. They have endurance. They can survive for miles across the desert. You know, like
Yeah.
they can go. I mean, patience.
Persevere
yeah,
and patience,
Yeah,
yeah.
like things like that make sense. So it's a good exercise in just making you think about things that maybe
I think so too.
you wouldn't have thought about otherwise.
I really think so too. Another one is the cultural differences is something we've talked about before when we did the omens. You know, people have different opinions about, like, say, in different cultures about the owl. But Athena's totem, or her always with Athena, was the owl. Athena is somebody I work with, and it's like, so she can go to war, but she is diplomatic and knows how to be strategic, so to avoid war. And Al is her discerning kind of sidekick animal. But other people see Al, if you see an owl at a certain time, they see that as an omen of death in certain cultures. So it is interesting how different people will have different cultures or experiences with these animals, but it kind of will open you up to them. And the more research you do, the research is great. Just think on your own first before you just immediately. What I've noticed is we immediately Google everything. And if we would sort of think about it first, what do I think about this? What are my prejudices maybe against this? The fact that I got a mosquito, why do I not want that? And how can that not help me? Another way that you might could to do this is, like I said, do the 3. And if there's 3, you're probably going to have an overlap. I'll be surprised. There will be some where there aren't. But you can then, again, remember, pick one from each category and do like a hybrid animal, which I think would be really fun and really cool to do. All right, so do we have another one?
I've got one over here. Okay. Kelly says stress and healing.
Okay. So I know we have healing and I know we have something regarding stress. So, but I don't have that exact word. Roger, hold on.
Let's see.
What's another word for stress, you guys? I know that's probably in here. It may be anxiety. How about just for now, anxiety and calming? Is that close enough, do you think, to stress?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Okay, so Roger, anxiety and calming is on page 84.
Got it.
And what was the other one, Matt?
Healing.
Okay, and healing I know we have because I used healing.
Is on 85.
Okay,
bottom.
so why don't you read first?
All right,
Anxiety.
so I've got angelfish, cricket, deer, gazelle, hippopotamus, koala, koi, puffin, sloth, squirrel, and turtle.
Okay, so the overlap is koala.
Koala.
And I'll read mine just so in case you want to go look at these later. You get the book and it'll be in there. But healing, albatross, badger, canary, cow, cuckoo, flamingo, iguana, koala, which is the one that matches, phoenix, scorpion, and snake. So koala, so then you're going to think about, what does koala mean to you? And for me, it's kind of like what you said, Matt. I've never in that Australia, and I think about the cute little koalas hanging upside down in the trees, or is that a sloth?
No, until they're wet, and they also carry STDs.
They do.
What? What the heck? What? What are y'all talking about? They carry STDs?
They
Yes,
have,
they do.
Yeah, they have chlamydia, I believe.
Chlamydia.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's why you never want to
How did we get off
hug
of
and
this?
You don't want to hold them.
a koala.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's the part that I would be thinking
Pass.
about whenever.
I'm like, oh, you want to hold it?
Okay,
No,
so
pass.
first of all, let me apologize to who is this?
Kelly.
Kelly. Let me just be the first to say that is not what I think of when I think of koalas, but now I will forever.
Yeah. Well, look, you got to take this stuff into account.
Wait,
Right?
which one? Oh God, your little teeny bop group from that Simon Cowell.
Oh, One
One of
Direction?
them, yeah,
Harry
one
Styles?
It may have been Harry. It was one of them. Yeah, he got it from hugging the koalas.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
You just hug them?
Yeah, what do you think you're doing with them? Come on now. Who's being that?
I don't know.
Now we need to apologize for Michelle and what she just said.
Well, you said a sexually transmitted disease, STD.
It is an STD. Yeah, that's how it is.
I didn't
typically,
think
but
hugging was felt.
You ever seen a wet koala?
I don't know.
They don't look like this furry thing anymore when they're
So
wet.
what does
they do look
Australia do
terrifying.
about that issue?
You just stay away from them.
Stay the hell away.
Yeah.
You just,
It's kind of like the monkeys in Florida.
what about them?
Oh, you don't even want to know then. If you don't want to know about that one, you don't want to know about the monkeys in Florida.
I don't.
The ones
Okay.
at the Tarzan Island they left.
Oh my God. Okay. You read your koala. I'm so sorry.
Here's the card. There's the card, guys, with the koala. It says tribe, stability, circumspection.
Tribe stability circle. I'm off. I can't even get out.
And in the book
I don't even
by
remember
Dr.
what
Stephen
you were.
Farmer.
What was she wanting help on though?
Stress and healing.
Stress.
Well,
and
now
healing.
she's
Now she's
stressed.
laughing. Now she's laughing.
Yeah.
So you know she's not stressed
Look,
anymore.
this is all well-rounded. You have to see
Maybe
the full
that
picture.
I did not put it under healing because of STDs. So I swear.
That's probably
That is no, I didn't even know it. I mean, so what do you?
All right. Watch your diet and make sure that it is primarily contains foods that are easily digested, with particular emphasis on green vegetables, herbs, and herbal supplements. The next time you have a glass of water before you drink it, say a prayer of gratitude for the gift of water.
I can barely even drink water. I've become
I
forget
know,
to say.
right? About to be. And include a prayer for all the waters on the earth. Okay. You need a relaxing retreat from daily life for a few days. So plan one soon and get away. Be aware of your emotions, yet remain somewhat detached from them and keep them contained. Plus, do not hug koalas.
Stay away from them.
All right, no, it doesn't say that.
Can we
part
do
of
one
it.
more?
It
and
doesn't
Some
say
then-
eucalyptus. Get some eucalyptus. or
Do
something.
we have one
Eucalyptus,
more,
yeah.
or we have time for one more, or should we go to our readings? So,
I don't know. I mean, I don't have another one over here. I don't know if
So-
you're looking at a different page.
we might not have
Roger.
time anyway, but
Maybe
just so
running
y'all know, it's a great exercise. And I did do it the other day. I did it with, I don't know. I drew it in my mind, though, because I'm horrible at drawing, and then I wrote about it. But a little bit for like 3-4 minutes, and I was bored of it. But it helps a lot more if you'll do something like drawing or cutting out pictures or something like that. Like, those little exercises that, you always did for your kids when they have to do them. And the kids didn't do them, but you did them? Yeah, one of those.
Oh, yeah.
What are those called? Homework. Yeah.
Homework. You mean their work they're
Their
supposed
homework.
to be doing?
Yeah.
I was never good at arts and crafts when I was.
Did your parents do it for you?
No, I just did bad at them. I remember one assignment in it may have been first grade where we had a little cutout of Smokey Bear that we had to color, and then we cut it out. And I don't know how I did it, but I cut his head off when I was cutting it out from the paper. Like I don't even know how I did that. And I said, well, I guess I failed this. I don't know, but
He cut his head off.
yeah,
Oh my god.
you just had to cut around his outline, and it wasn't even all that complicated. But I cut his head off.
Well,
Smokey Bear is not my
not your
animal spirit.
Not your animal spirit for sure. Well, the other day, we were over with Walker, and my daughter-in-law was doing something. It looked so cute. It was a scarecrow about their family and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Walker is 1.5.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to do this project with his family.
We were distracting Walker while it was actually getting done.
Me,
It's a little
me and
misguided,
Val
I
were
think.
over there literally doing this. I was like drawing the pumpkin stem on it, and she goes, "Oh, Walker won a prize!" So he actually won a prize.
Oh,
I was like,
nice.
Yeah.
"Go, Walker! You are gifted." So, do you remember
Yep,
that?
yep,
We were
yep.
sitting
I
there
saw
doing
that,
it. It was
and I saw
really
that, and I was
cute.
like-
I mean, Walker was impressive with his
Yeah,
with
because
his
he made it
homework.
all the way from the couch to the kitchen to do that.
And he looked at us and he was like, probably threw a golf ball at us or something, and because he likes to throw things, and then walked away. But yeah, we got him a good grade on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Guess
all
he'll need a
right, we want to do
toy
our
now.
closing. So our closing readings for the week. I will say, if you want to pick up my book, Spirits Unveiled, it's actually a lot of fun to do the. Just like we kind of had fun just now doing it. It is a lot of fun, and there's a lot of categories. And I think it's good to kind of know which spirit animal you're working with, and to know that you don't have to have the one that it's like been your whole life. That doesn't have to be the one that's helping you with specific things that are going on in your life right now. Okay? So it's a fun exercise, and I was sort of glad that I flipped it around. It gives you a little more that you have to do on your own, as opposed to, and to think about what you think about those animals. And I think it's good to also think, like Matt mentioned, do I have am I just like, ooh, I don't want that animal? And that might be more of a reason that you need to look at it.
Yeah.
Because they're
Right.
smelly.
and take a bath.
Yeah, take a bath.
Flies your
If you
totem.
get fly.
Yeah. So all right, let's you want to do our readings for the week.
Sure, let's do readings for the week.
Okay.
Oh, guess the new deck of cards.
Matt, you want to go first?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
yeah.
you want to explain it since I'm not. Matt, you want to do the whole show? No, I'll explain it.
That's
So pick a number between 1, 2, or 3, and that's your number for the week. And get it in your mind now. Just decide which number you're going to be. And whoever reads that number that's going to be your reading until we meet next time. So Matt is going to read for all the number 1s.
Yes, number 1s this week. Again, using the oblique strategies, I got into the impossible. So, you may be facing something this week that you consider to be impossible, or there may be something, if not this week, something in the future that you're thinking about. And my advice for you this week, number 1s, is to forge ahead and go into the impossible. You may find that it's not that impossible after all. So put away your doubts, fears, anything like that. This week is the week to start working on that thing that you consider to be impossible.
I love that. And I kind of will follow that up for the number 2s. I'm using the Radiant Rider Waite. So the traditional, but it's a little brighter. Can you guys see that? It's the star card. Star is a good card. The star to me means yes. The star means in a good way. So if you have a question and the positive answer, like you want the answer to be yes, this would be a yes for you for this week. But the star card is also one of the cards where, if you can see, part of the figure is on land and part of it's in the water. So that means that you are distributed in between like the physical world and the spiritual world. So the physical matters to you and you're very much in the material world, the physical world, but it also you're thinking of spiritual things. And so when the star card comes up, it's usually going to be a very positive week for you. But when you make a decision about material or worldly things, take a second to think, how does this affect the purpose that I have in my life? Is this furthering my purpose in my life? Is this contributing to it, or is this just something that I think is cool and that I want for my ego or whatever? Try to balance that and make sure that it's for your purpose, as well as just because you think it's something that sounds really cool that you might do.
Well, alrighty then.
Yeah.
I guess that leaves me with number 3s. And I actually used one of the animal cards tonight.
Cool.
This is the fox. This one is actually representative of the Knight of Wands. And at the bottom it says fortitude, passion, and leadership. And if you've ever seen fox out in the wild, they're actually really cool because they're very playful, a little bit shy. We had one at in here a couple of years ago, little gray Arctic fox. Her name was Amethyst. Very cool.
In the store?
Yeah. You never seen the pictures with me playing with her?
Did you do a chakra aura photo?
Nope.
Oh, that would have been cool.
No, I was just playing with her and took pictures and videos with her.
They don't have STDs as far as
They don't have STDs, so
I
I
was
was okay
wondering, now I'm gonna think.
to work with. Yeah. But when we were in Colorado camping, we had a whole family of them. And the thing about it is they actually are very playful. Okay, so for you number 3s this week, what I want you to do is kind of keep that playful side available to you, and don't take everything so serious, Michelle. Don't take everything serious all the time. Kind of livening up, enjoy life.
Thank you.
Enjoy it.
I didn't choose 3 though. I chose 2.
Number 2?
So I
Because you
read
always
for
choose 2.
myself. No.
So you didn't trust me and Matt to read for
No,
you.
I will. I do. Usually I go 1 and Matt's 2. So Matt's usually reading from me, right?
Yep.
So you guys, you can get my book at Amazon, SoulTopia.
MySoulTopia.com. Click the
That's
shopping tab and type in Spirits Unveiled, and you can find it there.
Both books,
And
actually.
if you want Michelle to sign it, put in Michelle sign
Yeah.
in the notes.
And when will we be at the Plano thing?
That's on November 20th. So that is a one-day event this time. So it's one day. We're going to start your Christmas shopping early. It's a Sunday.
And I speak at 1, I believe.
Yeah, right after lunch you speak.
Yeah. And that'll be, you'll do an exercise. You'll have it to do with if you have somebody with you, or you can take it home and do it, or I may even have you do it with a stranger, like sitting next to you. Be interesting. It's how you can be your own medium.
There you go.
So
I like that.
should be pretty interesting. Yeah. From the same book that we worked on tonight.
Yep. So don't forget, though, to click that like, share button over here and follow, subscribe. Especially, I know that some of you, because I was flipping back and forth on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed so you know when the videos go live and you can actually click and listen. If you're watching this later or listening later, do it then, too. It's okay. We'll let you. Thank you for tonight, Matt. Thank you, Michelle. Christy
you.
sitting on the floor over there. Hi.
Hi.
And thank you guys for watching and following and keeping us going every week.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Good night. Have a great week.
Thanks for listening to SoulWhat, a SoulTopia production. If you're intrigued, searching, or looking to schedule a reading of your very own, visit us in sunny Dallas, Texas, or visit us online at facebook.com/SoulTopia Holistic Boutique. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting platform to be the first to hear new episodes every Tuesday at 7:30 Central.